Hello there, viewers. Welcome back to an episode of Boston Boys with me, Dr. Benji FM. Since we last met, not much has happened, of course. Last Friday was our previous episode, and we're looking good all of a sudden, winning games all over the shop. And I thought we would do an episode over the weekend, but instead we're doing it today, and we're playing AFC Wimbledon as well as Portsmouth. Two massive League One fixtures for us, playing top of the table, and a chance for us to go to the top of the table with a win today. We're 3 points behind with a superior goal difference, though, and as I say, win today, and we'll leapfrog AFC Wimbledon and be top of League One. Can you Adam and Eve it? So then, let's get into this first game before we play Portsmouth later on and run you through the team for said match. So team-wise, we've kept it very consistent recently, and why change it if you're winning games? You can see then Burton will be in goal, McCarthy, Nudie in at right back, Akuma, Raggett, Cantrell, Kirby, Biggley, Manor. Callum McManaman's going to keep his place on that right-hand side with Dobra in behind Marky Fletcher, and Will Ferry will be featuring on the left-hand side. A team that we've seen lots of this season remains the same again then. Alabusi, of course, could push for a start, but if he doesn't play today, he'll definitely play the next game. And Callum McManaman's been in some decent form, so let's see how we get on and get things underway. Of course, we do have two tactics at the moment, and Pozzo is missing out more and more in recent games. Not fully fit for today's one. It's going to be a question mark, again, especially in this big game. Should we really play Dobra or should we play Pozzo? We're going with Dobra. We're going with a more offensive tactic. Hopefully it'll be successful. But I won't lie to you, viewers. I'm a little bit nervous about it. In fact, I'm gonna bring on some game changers onto the bench. Actually, I'm gonna bring Kagawa on there, and Pozzo's gonna play instead of Dronfield as well, in case we need to change up the system at half time. Hopefully it goes well though. Top of the table, AFC Wimbledon. Of course, my last series was with them. Let's hopefully be on the other side of it though and beat them today. They've got Manda up front, who we've spoken about a few times. Very, very good, Kenny Manda. This season though, 12 goals in 30. Very, very good last year for AFC Wimbledon. Of course, a newly promoted side. The two newly promoted teams at the top of the table. If it's not Carlisle, it's AFC Wimbledon. It really has been a case of when a team's gone up previously, another side has followed with us to the next division. So AFC Wimbledon could find themselves in the Championship if things go their way. Especially this game. This could give them a real boost to their campaign. Of course, winning it would create a massive gap of points. So we need to be at our best. Away from home, let's see if we can do it. They've already picked up a booking. Seconds into this. They've got a free kick though. Bishop takes it. Rebounds there. Rebounds out to Moore. And AFC Wimbledon not quite finished yet with this attack. As, are we going to block this? Stop this? They're passing it around the edge of our box. Very, very comfortably. Chance, Amanda slots home. And we're not even 5 minutes in. And already AFC Wimbledon have gone 1-0 up. They've got a booking, but they've also got a goal, and you can see we just can't quite get near them. I'm already concerned. That's the area, of course, that Pozzo would be playing. Our two central midfielders not defensively doing their best work there. We get a little bit outnumbered, and they slot it home. I'm going to stay balanced, though. We'll keep things as they are, and we'll see if we can create something from the back. Because Raggett now on the ball, all the way at centre-back. Can our midfield two of Kirby and Biggley Manor set us off on an attack? And of course Dobra, we need to see him involved. Games in which he's quite in, we never do particularly well, and as he runs straight into one of their midfielders, and again they race forward with it. Garraway, McHale on this side, whips the ball into the back post. McCarthy can't quite get there. He does though, lets it run all the way across him, and a massively launched ball towards Marky Fletcher. Can he win the knockdown? He can. Knocks it down to Dobra, and now Dobra now running at their back four. Oh, lovely ball, Marky Fletcher. Oh dear, oh dear. The first chance, I think he's hit the post or it was saved, and the second chance, well, not his best work there, viewers, it must be said. Now, let's try and get a little bit more out of Dobra. We'll go more positive. Hopefully that'll mean that we'll try and get the ball into Dobra more often. Of course, the pace of Alabusu is on the bench and waiting to come on. Leary's there as well. So we've got options if things aren't going our way. Marky Fletcher having quite a quiet game after that miss. As McManaman now, though, racing forward with it. Can he pass it inside? He finds a beautiful ball to Will Ferry and a great save from the Wimbledon keeper. That was good, but since going positive, we seem to have come into the game a little more. Biggie Manor puts the ball in. We're not quite there. Raggett's going to pick it up, but it's a corner. It's Football Manager. It's over. It's a theme, viewers. 1-0 AFC Wimbledon as half-time is among us. Well, I guess this is crunch time now, isn't it? Of course, don't win this, and it'll be a race for second. Win this, go top, and all of a sudden this promotion fight looks a little more helpful in our favour. We're keen to avenge what happened last time we played them. I think they did beat us, so it makes sense to say it. We're in February, of course, now. Alabusi's going to come off McManaman in what's going to be the only change. Oh no, am I going to bring Pozzo on? I am going to bring Pozzo on. I'm going to make the switch. Pozzo's going to play in the anchor role. Alabusi and Ferry are going to be pushed right up alongside Marky Fletcher. We've got one change left. I think Leary for Fletcher might be the move, but yeah, 1-0 down. We've got to change something. We're going slightly more defensive set, just so we can retain possession slightly better, really, and then hopefully get it out to those wide areas and punish. But Yeah, not the most perfect of first half. So actually, we'll stick with this as the highlight begins. Biggity Manor, about 30 yards out, finds Ferry, and again, a decent shot, but a very good save. You can see this is like the classic example of a 6-pointer. Because if they win this, they go ahead as that Fletcher corner not particularly good. If they win this, they go 6 points clear. If we win it, we go top. So it's huge, really. I mean, a point at this stage wouldn't be the worst thing. As we go, we'll go more attacking. I mean, of course, we went back to balance. Balance once we change the tactic up a little bit. 20 minutes to go, and if Fletcher doesn't score now, I think Leary might find himself on the pitch. As actually, wow, this is a turn up for the books. Leonard gets himself sent off. Is there a potential here for us to change system a little bit? Fletcher's having a poor game, regardless of if we. The problem is, I kind of want to take off Kirby maybe and play 2 strikers. I'm going to do this. This is a bit bold, but we'll see what comes of it. But Green Manor's going to play in the centre. Leary's going to come on as an advance forward. And we're going to play 4 attackers, basically, in those forward areas. And just see, with 15 minutes to go, can we grab an equaliser? They're down to 10 here. I could have taken Fletcher off. We could have gone straight swap. But I'm sticking with the 2 of them up front, trying to propose a little bit of a threat as actually the throw-in is going to go the way of AFC Wimbledon. Of course, there's a chance we can counter. We're 2-on-2 at the back. If we can win it back and launch it forward, with every chance. But we have to get this ball back as the shot comes in, hits the post. 5 minutes left in the game. Come on, boys. This is a big game here. 3 minutes of added time. It's been very, very poor. You've got to say, there's a late corner from Fletcher. Can he do the business? He can't. It's headed down. Bishop clears. And AFC Wimbledon, you give them the credit there. 1-0. They take it. And in a battle at the top, we don't go top. I feel like that's an opportunity missed at half time. Well, when the player goes off, it's disappointing because if they get sent off and we're already playing an attacking system, we stick with that. But because we've gone a bit more defensive to try and keep the ball better, we just didn't create any opportunities. I can't fault the performance. Oh no, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. And we play Portsmouth next. We've got to bounce back. It's a week's time. It's away from home, and they're a bottom half side. So 3 points should be in order. Kagawa or Gribben is the question, I think, going to this next game. I think Dobra is the kind of player that plays better when he comes off the bench, weirdly. And when he starts games, he really struggles to find a footing. He's the Divock Origi of this side. 6 times. 6 times. As Pozzo picks up a knock as well. That's perfect. That's just what we need. So, welcome up, viewers. Fitness-wise, we need to make a couple of changes. Alabusu is going to start this game. Dronfield is going to come in for Kirby as well. And in a bold move, and you can only really describe it as a bold move, Shinji Kagawa is going to come on. Now, he's going to play as Nganch. The reason for this, he's not as mobile as he used to be. But if you read what Nganch is, you'll see why. So the key line really is that unlike the Trequartista in this role, it's a more stationary role as the Nganch acts as the focal point instead of moving forward into large areas of space. So really want him to be in the middle. We don't want him to be moving around too much because physically he's not necessarily capable of that anymore. But his creativity and his attributes going forward, his technical attributes, should still see us through. First touch is particularly good. Technique's very good. And those mentals are to die for, really, even at this age. 34 now. Let's see, can he do the business? Of course, we've got a player quite similar to him that we're going to put on the bench for this one. Leary's a little bit injured, so Gribben's going to make his way there too, who can play in what I would consider to be a similar role. So here we go then. Shinji Kagawa, big moment for him. Not necessarily fully fit, but let's see if we can get an hour out of him against Portsmouth, away from home as well, as the team largely remains unchanged from last time. I am going to bring Seddon in, though, for Cantrell at left back. Okay then, Shinji Kagawa. This is a key moment for him, really. He's not featured too much in our side. He's not played too well when he has. A 4-3-3 from Portsmouth. This is a big moment where I need the experience of him to get us through it. Defeat last time in a game that we probably should have won, all things considered. Let's see if we can bounce back today. I mean, the team talk's gone well. That's a positive sign, viewers. The team talk's gone terrific. All right, then. Can we do the business? Keep your eyes on number 50 in the centre there. That is Shinji Kagawa, of course, former Dortmund and Manchester United player, as Portsmouth go forward very early on and make me nervous. I just think, give Kagawa the opportunity to pass balls forward to the likes of Marky Fletcher and the pace out wide. We could be okay as he loses it, and I think he got it back. Nearly 10 minutes in here. As we look okay, you know. We've got a throw in on that side. McCarthy throws it. Not particularly good, but Biggity Manor's going to pick it up. And he's the star, really, of our team. I've got to say it. Ferry, though, finds Mikey Fletcher. Can he pop it in? He's off target again. It was one area in this team that I thought I could maybe have strengthened further in the January window and ended up not doing, is the striking area. Mikey Fletcher, while very good, sometimes go awry. But I think Leary's pretty capable. He's now injured, though, and it makes you wish that we maybe brought in another striker. I think we can probably still loan one. It's a free kick from Biggity Manor. Goes close. As we get towards half time, it's been a very... It's not been a dull game, but it's been quite passive. It's another free kick. Biggie Man are on it. Hits the post. We're getting closer, it feels like. With that Fletcher shot and then a couple of free kicks from Biggie Manor, and that's half time. It's that point in the season where you can start to crumble it, and I'm very conscious of that. So, yeah, I'm not being overly jokey or jovial in this. I just want to win some matches. We won the last 2 before we played Wimbledon, but now it's a struggle. I feel like away at Pompey, Fratton Park, it's notorious for being a tough place to go, and we're finding it relatively difficult. We'll switch to a more positive approach as Alabusu is run off the ball, and it looks like it's going to be the end of the highlight. It is. You can see Will Furry's got a bit of an injury on that side. I might bring Callum Gribbon on, who's got quite similar attributes. I'm going to make the switch quite early as well. Of course, he was going to maybe come in for Kagawa, but on that left-hand side, he's left-footed, of course, so it should be a natural in the wide area. It's going to be a throw into Portsmouth, and I'm starting to feel like the tide of this season is turning a little bit against us as more it's deflected and cleared away. Can we get on this ball though and maybe start some sort of counter? I mean, are we marking on that side? That is up there with one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Talk about getting dragged out of position and not just holding your ground. Look at this again in 3D. Our whole team is in that sort of circle there. They're so close together. We've got Alabusu on this side who's getting ready to break away, as you'd probably expect. But, I mean, what is this What is this hit? What is this? What is going on? They've scored. It's 2-0. Sorry, it's 1-0. It's not 2-0. I'm thinking it's worse than it is. It feels like 2-0. Bad defending, and they scored. I think that's... Let's just say it's 2-0. I mean, talking about changes here, there's not too much to do. I mentioned Dobra before. Kagawa's not really done the business. Trequartista, Dobra comes on to play behind Marky Fletcher. 15 minutes to make an impact here, and it's a throw-in deep for Portsmouth, which I was hoping would be quite challenging to get out. They've lost the ball eventually, and they'll rag it towards Alabusu. I've got to be honest, and I look at this the way it's going, it looks like Pompey are way more likely to score again than we are. We've looked off the boil, not only in that first game, but in the second one as well. A few question marks over these players who, as I say... I said it was 2-0 earlier. It is now. That felt obvious. Nearly 70% of the ball, but what are we doing with it? We're doing nothing with it. It's a waste of time. As Biggie Manor gets an injury, which is possibly the worst thing that could happen. Anderson's going to come on in the middle. He's more natural there. 10 minutes to go. It's not gone well. Marky Fletcher missed a couple of chances. Those free kicks didn't go in, and again, they're on the march. It could be a third for them. Marking wise, our defence are getting pulled all over the shop, and it's a penalty to Portsmouth. This is bad. And the thing that concerns me most is that as Velios gets his hat trick, 59 points are on, and you look at the teams that are chasing us down: Notts County, QPR, Bradford, all within that contentious issue of getting 5th and 6th. And we're going to be in that conversation. We are in that conversation. This could have been a day where we raced forward towards better things, but it's just not been the case. I don't want to use the phrase bottled it, viewers, because we're still a point off second. All right, make no mistake. But this is poor. And for the first time in a long time, I feel the struggle a little bit. Nearly 70% of the ball. We've created very little, and it's a concern. You think about the creative players on our side: Alabusu, Gribbin, Kagawa featured as well. Of course, we've got Dobra in there, and the finishing ability of Marky Fletcher. You expect more, but today it's a dark day for the Boston boys. I'm not happy with the performance. You can't be, can you? As they've responded quite well. Of course, next time we meet then, hopefully we'll have managed to turn it around a little bit, but today's been very, very poor. Possibly, and I'll say this boldly, one of the most negative performances, one of the most negative episodes I've had, but question marks, they've got to be over them. Okay, so you look at some of the sides battling with us: Luton, Gillingham, Notts County, Coventry. Next time we meet then, we don't actually play any of them. It's just this run of fixtures here might be quite kind. 20th, 18th, 11th, 13th and 24th and 21st. So Notts County, I think we might skip ahead a little bit then. We should do well against those sides. So next time we meet, we should still be in that sort of playoff mix. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll do MK Dons and then the 7th place Notts County next episode. If you're looking forward to it, do drop a like on the video. If you want to see some more, make sure you subscribe as the Boston journey continues. I'll see you for it again very soon. With love and care. Goodbye.